here. Her show was called Aarti Party on Food Network.
It was.
And I watched your whole season. I cheered for you every single week. Oh, my word. I remember meeting Aarti for the first time outside of a hotel in New York City.
Yeah.
I said, would you ever consider doing QVC? And she said, all doors are open. All doors are open.
And then look at this.
And look, you're here. And I love the color, ma'am.
Thank you. You know, this is see a theme that is happening here.
There's a lot of color. I mean, it is snowing outside.
Yeah, we need it.
So we're not concentrating on the outside where it's cold and drab.
Yeah.
We're talking about color on the
Color
inside.
and joy, because for me, color is joy.
And cooking is joy.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring that back because I think sometimes, you know, especially my season in life and maybe later too, you are cooking and you've had a whole day and it can feel like a chore. So I wanted to bring color back in so it feels like joy again.
These were on this week and 900 already out the door.
Come on, everybody.
Only 2 colors. Now, this is a pressure cooker.
Yep.
It's also a slow cooker. It's also a steamer.
Yes. And
how does it know the difference?
we have buttons. We press the buttons and it knows what to do. The thing that's really remarkable to me about this is you can do all the things that you would do in your regular multi-cooker, but this is 2 quarts.
And it's 2-quart capacity. So if you're cooking for a smaller crowd, and most of us are these days, whether we are downsizing or whether we're part of the age of possibility where we are maybe waiting on grandchildren, or maybe grandchildren have just arrived, and you're cooking for smaller numbers of people, or you're empty nesting, whatever the case may be, or you just don't have as much room left on your countertop as you used to. Now we have this in the red. We also have this in the cream. Now you're doing one of my favorites. That's
I was just going to say, this is a little pot roast. Now, I say little, but I want you to look at just how wide this
Uncle
guy
David
is.
could kill that.
Well, you know, Uncle David needs a lot of protein because he's very muscular.
I need a lot of protein for my
very
height.
Muscular man.
You're sweet to say I'm muscular. I'm just tall.
So, but can you see, we made it wide and shallow so that you could get beautiful browning on a, this is a 2-pound, maybe 2.5-pound pot roast. And look at how brown it's getting in here. Plenty of room for that browning to occur. You could do chicken thighs.
And that browning on top is not just colorful, that's flavor.
That is flavor. You need it, actually.
It's called the Maillard effect. And so
look at you.
I know, I've learned a few things.
Dr. David.
I know a few things. And it's important to know. And then when you throw in what we call mirepoix, which is the onions, the carrots, the celery, that needs to cook low and slow. Now maybe you'll use a little. Now I've seen different recipes. I've done. I've seen chicken broth, beef broth.
Yeah, it really whatever suits your fancy.
Suits your fancy.
Yeah. So I'm putting potatoes in here
little
too.
Potatoes.
So the idea is, I mean, you've got a 1-pot meal, and this is something. The thing about a pressure cooker is something that would take hours now takes a fraction of the time.
I mean, because chuck roast has to break down. All of that connective tissue has to break down.
Yeah.
And so in order to do it, you need something acidic, which is where the red wine comes in.
Yes, and then a lot of liquid, which is where the beef broth comes in.
Because the pressure cooker is going to turn that beef broth to steam.
And when I was growing up, you know, the pressure cookers were a little scary, right? They had the whistle on top, and sometimes
Mom wouldn't let us in the kitchen when she took it apart.
She was scared for your life.
She was like, "I'm going to release the pressure under the cold water. I want you out of the kitchen.
Go outside."
And we'd have to leave the house.
Mine too. But this was the secret, right? This was the way that our parents, grandparents got good food on the table, homemade.
Oh, look at that
every
pot
day.
Roast. Now, Mom had pot roast every 2 weeks. Why every 2 weeks? Because that's when she got paid.
Oh, that was her celebration.
I was raised by a single mom. And so Mom was like, I know you kids love pot roast, but I can only afford to buy it every 2 weeks.
Oh, that is so sweet.
When I get
That's
paid.
why it's so special.
So we would have pot roast for Sunday dinner.
And look at how full a pot tender. Is that how your mom had it?
Well, I'm looking for a fork.
Oh, honey.
I'm looking for a fork. And if I can't find one on your table, I'm going to find one somewhere else.
I know you are. I'm just going to keep serving this up here.
Oh, here.
Oh, there you go.
Here's a fork.
You want to take...
I want to taste just a little taste of this pot roast.
I mean, that's what you want on a nice, cold day, is some pot roast.
The kind of thing that warms you down to your toes.
Yes, exactly.
And save some of that gravy, some of that jus.
Gonna just ladle that over the top. So again, this is the kind of thing that normally would take all day. You know what I mean?
How long did you cook it in the pressure cooker?
It takes about a half hour, really.
A half an hour?
It doesn't take very long.
That was a 2-pound chuck roast.
Yeah, I would say
now,
so.
in a regular oven, that would take 4 hours.
Yes. Yeah, but that's the incredible thing about pressure, a pressure cooker, is it creates this intense atmosphere where water boils at a higher temperature.
And it forces the flavor of all the seasonings into the meat.
Yeah, so you get it really tender and moist. Yeah, beautiful.
Every bite of that pot
this
roast.
is the pressure cooking function.
Now, white or in cream. How many are gone now, Sean? Yeah. 1,200 are now
good.
gone.
I'm so
for the
excited.
weekend. Now, that's in the pressure mode. What about the slow cooking mode?
So this is the slow cooking mode. Can I just tell you one story about this design here? So I wanted it to be beautiful, but this design is very meaningful to me. So when I was growing up, my mum, still to this day, she doesn't wear an apron when she cooks. Indian women wear these house dresses.
I saw a YouTube video where you explained this.
Yeah. So a cotton house dress with these beautiful floral patterns. And so to me, this pattern means something's about to go down. And this is the long story of matriarch after matriarch doing all the things that matriarchs do.
So you celebrate your heritage in your cooking.
Yeah. And all the
that's
strong
lovely.
women in my family. I mean, I wore a house dress when I labored with my first child. You know what I mean? Like, this is when we do that hard stuff, we do it in a house dress. And so I wanted to put it on the cookware as a reminder
What have
of how
you in
strong
here,
you
my
are.
dear?
Right here is queso.
Okay.
You know, another nutritious food.
Some queso. Yeah, I'm all about
Sorry.
the queso. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
So yeah, the cool thing about it is obviously, you know, you just sort of set it and forget it, but you can also keep it on the warm function. So at Super Bowl, you can have warm queso dip.
So the big game is coming up. I know that the birds are playing today in the snow.
Oh my gosh, they're so committed.
They're playing at home in the snow.
Oh gosh.
Kickoff is at 3, and I think it's supposed to be snowing to beat the band.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, and I just love that idea that this won't get stodgy, you know, as it cools.
Tomatoes or peppers?
I think that these are tomatoes, actually.
Okay.
Or tomatoes.
Tomato, let's call the whole thing off.
And then I have another idea for you
What have you
here.
here?
So this is a slow cooker mac and cheese, but this is what my kids call sneaky mama mac and cheese.
Sneaky mama?
Yes, because I cut some of the cheese with butternut squash and cauliflower. You know, we're all trying to be a little healthier.
A little more carb conscious.
Yes, and so
A slow absorbing carb as well as something that is low in carbs, so that's the cauliflower.
yes, and then a little beta carotene, which we could all use this winter too, right? So again, cooked it right in there. Look at how cheesy it is. And this is a great recipe to show you. I want to show you just how easily, look how it's not sticking to the bottom.
Some of you are.
Isn't that good? Oh, listen, I need you to get this part right here, David.
Is that the butternut squash?
Well, it's a little piece of, you know how it gets brown?
Oh, is that cheese?
A little crispy brown, yeah. Right there, I'm gonna put it right there for you because you deserve that. You've been working hard this morning. But I want you to show you, look at the bottom of the pan. It's so good when it gets crispy and brown. That's my favorite part.
And you get the, and that's butternut squash in there?
Yes.
And cauliflower.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Really love it.
Yeah, and look, clear.
And easy to clean. This whole cook oil comes out. Does it go in the dishwasher?
Right in the dishwasher.
Oh, it's
I
music in my ears.
know, I know. It's really, this is gonna be your friend this winter.
And this is part of that same colorway house dress
Yeah,
that you grew up with.
yes.
And we have it in white, we have it in cream. How many ordered now, Sean? 1,800 this weekend.
Oh, fantastic. I think you'll love it.
Very popular.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
and
you'll
they're
love
just
it,
the right
guys.
size. 2 quart is the sweet spot size. Okay, let's go over here because I
dokie.
think we're going to talk about, is it tools? Yeah.
Tools, okay. It's the new year. If you're watching In the Kitchen with